Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, your home for NFL talk here on YouTube. My name is Mike. Guys, just here to catch you up on this Monday morning in regards to some of the rumors that circulated about the NFL draft this weekend. One thing that most notably happened was, whenever you get a GM that comes out and tips his hand in any way as far as where he's leaning to go in the upcoming draft, it's going to make news. And that's no different than Ray Farmer, the Cleveland Browns, the new Cleveland Browns GM being inserted after the firing of Joe Banner and Mike Lombardi to that GM position. And he came out this weekend and said that he knows which quarterback he wants in the upcoming draft. First, I thought that was interesting on a couple levels. Number one, they haven't even begun the interview process, seen anyone throw yet, and he already has an indication of who he wants. That's the first thing. The second thing you naturally wonder is, who is the guy? Okay, who is the guy that they covet? Most people think Johnny Manziel, but we don't really know. The brain trust in Cleveland seems to change, as much as the wind blows. So who knows at this point? And the third question is, if their quarterback is not there, what do they do next? Do they look to trade out, or do they have other guys on their radar, other positions? These are all things that will be answered in the coming weeks and months. Maybe something like this is something said to purposely, stir the pot a little bit. You just never know. But it'd be interesting to see, now anytime they meet with a quarterback at the combine for an interview, anytime they send more than a couple representatives to a pro day, people are going to speculate that that's the guy Ray Farmer wants, and we'll see. How that unfolds here again in the coming weeks and months. Moving from the bad AFC team to another mediocre AFC team in the New York Jets. And the Jets are rumored to be intrigued by North Carolina tight end Eric Ebron. And I don't blame him for that. I mean, Ebron is a guy who's, to me, clearing away the best tight end prospect in this draft. And if there's a guy worth taking in the first round, I think it would be Ebron. I'm not big on taking tight ends in the first round, okay, especially for a team like the Jets that has a ton of other needs, most notably at the receiver spot. But it depends on what they do in free agency. I mean, if they do what they say and take that Santonio Holmes money and sign two proven veteran guys, then, okay, maybe they can take a chance on a playmaking tight end in the first round. You look at all these guys that are stud tight ends, whether it's a Jimmie Graham, certainly, let's say Antonio Gates. I'm just talking about like the best of the best. Rob Gronkowski. I mean, these are guys that weren't even taken in the first or second round. Some not drafted at all. So, but I like that the Jets are thinking in terms of playmakers, and Ebron is definitely a special one. And the Jets at the middle of the first round could be a pick that makes sense for them. Now the Bengals as well. A lot of the stuff you hear about the Bengals these days is sort of different than in years past. They seem like they're headed in the right direction, obviously, with the 3 straight playoff appearances. And for them now, it's about, during the draft, adding the best player available in each round for me. And especially after it comes out this weekend, that if they can re-sign Anthony Collins, all right, kick Whitworth into guard, as I've talked about previously, then it makes sense for them to be looking cornerback first. But when it comes down to it, there's no real glaring need they need to fill, and they should take best available player. And look, teams that take the best available player long term, to me, have the best chance of being successful or being competitive long term. Now, competitive doesn't necessarily mean, in the playoffs every single year. It means in the playoffs or knocking on the door of the playoffs, to me, every year. And there's only certain franchises that really have that reputation and really have that track record of success. Look no further than the Ravens, who that's been their strategy for a long time now, and has proved them well as them being one of the most consistent franchises in the NFL the last 10 to 15 years. We haven't talked much about the quarterbacks the last couple days on here. Tajh Boyd is one that is intriguing to some. For me, he's a backup quarterback in the NFL, maybe with the off chance of developing into a spot starter. And a quality number 2 guy. The Panthers, it's being rumored, are maybe interested in adding him in the middle rounds. Obviously not with the thinking of him ever taking Cam Newton's job. But I like this fit, though, because I'm one, and if you listen to this channel, I preach this all the time. Have your backup quarterback be very similar in style to your starting quarterback, so he can just be inserted and the team can go on. It's not some big massive overhaul in changing the style of play. Tajh Boyd to the Panthers, to me, makes sense from that perspective as they move on from Jimmy Clausen and add a guy like a Tajh Boyd as probably the third string the first year, I would think, and then as the backup in years to come for Cam Newton. And lastly, guys, taking a look at the safety market in the NFL draft, two guys seem to be separating themselves or have separated themselves in the free safety area, and that's Calvin Pryor of Louisville and, of course, Clinton Dix from Alabama. Right now, I have Clinton Dix firmly ahead of Calvin Pryor. I have Clinton Dix going in at the latest, the middle of the first round. Pryor more towards the end of the first round. But look, I think the combine is going to be important for these guys because they'll be side by side performing the same drills, okay? And there's not that much separating them right now. So that's one of the combine battles to really really keep an eye on. That free safety spot between Clinton Dix and Pryor could really impact where these two get drafted relatively. And at the strong safety spot, you're seeing a big push for Jimmie Ward from Northern Illinois being the top-rated strong safety. Look, a lot of attention went to Jordan Lynch this past season, the do-everything quarterback from Northern Illinois. But make no mistake about it, Jimmie Ward, his strong safety teammate, is the better pro prospect. Right now, it seems as though he may be the first strong safety picked in the draft as well. So I know that the strong safeties are the last to perform there at the combine, but be sure, as are all the defensive backs, but be sure to check these three guys out: Pryor, Clinton Dix, and, of course, the strong safety, Jimmie Ward. Some intriguing guys that could be a fit for your team. Guys, that rounds out the draft rumors for today. Be sure to hit me up in the comments and on Twitter as well with your thoughts. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, guys. It's completely free, and if you check out my over 1,000 videos here on YouTube, just dedicated to the NFL, it's really your one-stop shop on here for NFL talk. So thanks again for listening. Have a great day.